thinking about Class 8 demand and there's kind of three components to it, and looking at the dashboard, you'll notice there's 15 different components. Looking over here on the far left side, we've got the macro data. So that's basically economic data. So the economy generates freight. And so if you look at the five variables that we have for the economy, it's non-auto durable goods, consumer spending on goods, residential construction. I guess I forgot the ISM index at the top, and then the Dow Jones Truck Stock Index. Granted, what's that saying that Wall Street has predicted 15 of the last four recessions, but there are a bunch of smart people buying these stocks. So the first question is the economy generating freight? And then we go to the next five metrics in the index, and they turn from is the economy generating freight to what's happening in the trucking market. So we've got the American Trucking Association's truckloads index, so are loads growing or shrinking? And we will be in a reasonably short term, we will be replacing the ATA's loads index with the Cass shipments index. But then we look at three DAT series. What's the load to truck ratio? The spread between contract and spot rates. We find that to be a very good predictor of carrier profitability. Then we look specifically at the dry van spot rate, because dry vans are the vast majority, but certainly call it 60% of the freight in the United States is dry van related specifically. And then we look at the ATA's loads index, percent change in the loads index relative to the percent change in the tractor population. So as long as you've got more freight coming into the market than trucks, it should be good for carrier profits. So the thinking goes. And then finally we look at industry specific metrics. Our cancellations are truckers saying we are uncomfortable with the level of equipment we have in the backlog, and do we need to cancel things? We look at the inventory to sales ratio as a guide for whether the industry is going to build more or less trucks. And then actually we look at the inventory at an absolute level as well, because we do think that inventory number has significant bearing on industry production in kind of the coming 3 to 6 month period. Then we look at net orders to build, which is essentially we could just have backlog, but net order to build ratio, are we ordering more trucks relative to building more trucks, or are we ordering less trucks relative to production? And then we finally ACT Research has a for-hire trucking survey that we do monthly with about 50 or 60 trucking companies that participate, and we take the volume index, the freight volume index minus the capacity addition index, and we look at those. So we don't weight any metric more than the others. So each one of these guys gets a metric rating of either a green gets a +1, a neutral rating gets a 0, and a negative rating gets a -1. And then we at the very top of the page, you can see we've got the green minus red tally, and that's the way it works.